Hello, everybody. I'm Star Delta 9. This is my new series, and I'm calling it Cracked Wide Open. I'm going to be discussing my spiritual awakening and my journey. So if you would like to listen to this, please stay tuned. If you don't, please click off now. No problem. I want to say I will be putting these videos up once a week. I will be putting them under the series Cracked Wide Open. And if you want to listen to those series, please by all means go under my video playlist, click that link, and you will be attached to those videos. I will be doing a video every single Wednesday about 10 o'clock. Once a week, I'll do a live video for any questions that I may have from chat or in the comments below. Please do me a favor and share the video. Give me a thumbs up if it resonates with you. You never know who's looking for this information. Hello, everyone in chat. Thank you for stopping by. Let's get this party started, shall we? I went to bed. Let me take a drink of coffee. I'm a little nervous. Not really nervous. I think it's excitement, actually. So here we go. Okay. I went to bed on March 28th, 2019, and I awoke the next morning and I felt as if someone had reached into my chest and took my very soul. The morning of March 29th, I remember saying to my partner of 27 years, I feel like you have come into my room in the middle of the night and smacked me in the head with a baseball bat, and I have forgotten exactly who I am. I don't know who I am, where I am, what I'm doing, nothing. Everything I thought I knew about myself, my friends, my home, my job, and yes, family, yes, church. I could see each thing for the absolute flippin' truth of exactly who they were. Utter truth, utter faith. I mean, you could look at something and know if it was a fact, true fact, or not a fact. It was like someone had removed a veil. I'm going to talk about this veil later because when people discuss this veil, it's really not a veil that someone's taken off your face literally in the presence of you and shown you everyone's truth around you. It's a veil that divine has lifted from this 3D realm, and you are now connected with oneness. It is amazing. Okay? So that is the veil. So I'm going to be doing a video on that. But it was almost like someone had opened my eyes for the first time and I could see. But it was not through my eyes. It was through my mind's eyes. It's not through my visual eyes that I was seeing the truth. It was my mind's eye. My third eye that people call their third eye. Now, this is kind of an oxymoron to me when you say you've had a spiritual awakening. There are many different types of awakenings. There's an enlightenment, there's an awakening, there's a spiritual awakening, and different types of awakenings produce different types of effects for everybody. So I believe what I'm having is a spiritual awakening. And first, to say I've had a spiritual awakening, like I said, is really a fucking oxymoron. Because while on one hand, you feel this utter bliss of unconditional love in the center of your chest, it is oneness with God, with divine, with source. I don't care if you call it the doorknob. You feel it, it's real, you know it's there. And I don't care how many lovers you have or how many things you think you love, you will never, ever experience this kind of love unless you've had this awakening. or an awakening. And it is something I don't ever want to lose again. And I know through my studies and through things I've learned is that people can be awakened. So I'm on a journey now to help awaken others. So on this hand, it's blissful, it's beautiful, it's the most loving thing I've ever felt in my life, and I don't want to ever, ever, ever be away from it. And on this hand, it is the most alienating, lonely, painful, gut fucking wrenching feeling you will ever, ever experience in your life. So it's kind of an oxymoron. And the reason it's so gut wrenching and so painful is because through my spiritual awakening, I've learned that I've placed a lot of self limiting beliefs on myself. Self limiting beliefs that aren't true. Abandonment, loneliness, fear, worthlessness, never amounting to anything. No one's ever going to hear me. I don't have a voice. All of those things, when I started doing the shadow work through this awakening, because I'm telling you, if divine wakes you under any circumstances, whether it's an awakening or a spiritual awakening, it's a gift. It's a gift and it's a blessing, and she will drag you, he, she, whatever you identify with, drag you, kicking and screaming. And I had stubbornness. Stubborn, stubborn, stubborn. You know? Control, control, control. So there's future spiritual videos that I'm going to bring to you guys that I'm going to share with you and tell you what they're about. You know, because when people say they've had an awakening or they've had a spiritual awakening and they tell you it's painful, that's an understatement. That's an understatement. So, what is a spiritual awakening? Well, to me, it's a shift in consciousness. Consciousness, not subconsciousness. Consciousness with one divine God, source. You, I, you, all of us, we are simply physical beings living in a shell, going through this life, okay? And it's your soul that's having the awakening. Your very essence of who the heck you are. The person that you came into this world as and agreed to your DNA, to your source, what your purpose on the earth was. How many of us have walked around this earth and forgot what our purpose is? Or you ask a friend, what's your purpose in life? And they go, still trying to figure that out. And they're 60. Okay? We forget. So simply put, you know, my spiritual awakening has marked the beginning of a new journey for me. It's kind of a death, my old self, all the self-limiting beliefs, all of the things that I believed to be true that were utter lies. So now I have a rebirth of the new. It's an abiding reconnection of my soul, of your soul, if you have an awakening through divinity. It's a rebirth. When you read books and they tell you that even when you went to church when you were a small child, they said, well, I won't even do that one. Let's do this one. Abandonment. Okay. I've always had abandonment issues. Don't know why. No clue. Started doing the shadow work through this awakening. There's not one person ever in my life that I can remember that's abandoned. I had deaths in my family, yes, but I don't consider that abandonment. Okay? But here's what I want to bring up as an example of what self-limiting belief can do to us, okay? You're a child in your mother's womb, and you are there for 9 months, and you are floating around in an amniotic fluid, and your umbilical cord is literally attached to your mother's soul. Your soul and your mother's soul are communicating while you're in the womb. Now she, boom, goes into labor. They cut that cord, put you in a bassinet, inject 10, 20 milligrams of pain medication in mom, stick her in the recovery room, and now you are separated. Okay? A baby is born with all 5 senses. Right now, you're teaching that child abandonment, fear, because you've removed them from an environment that they have been in and living in, functioning in, loving in, communicating in with their mother for 9 months. Now they don't know shit. Now they're scared. Now they feel like their moms abandoned them. Self-limiting belief that's been placed on us by no fault of our own. So do you understand how simple it is to put, that's just one thing. Now, fear and abandonment go hand in hand. What is the opposite of love? Fear. That baby has been feeling love in that womb from its mother for 9 months, and now it feels fear. So when you say to yourself, I don't know what the fuck I'm afraid of, you might never know what you're afraid of. And you have to realize that there's nothing to fear. People say, I fear the unknown. Well, the unknown is defined as unknown or the inability at uncertainty. Example, your friend's in a car accident. You get a call. She's in the ER. I don't know what's happening. Uncertainty. Those situations arise in our life all the time, but it's not unknown. We create the unknown fear in our subconscious mind. In our subconscious mind. So, what happens during a spiritual awakening? It's kind of difficult to pin it down, if you will. It's the different types of awakening, like I said. There are many awakenings, from enlightenment to spiritual awakenings, etc. So if you feel you've had an awakening, leave a comment below, look some up. But I'm going to tell you, there is a gamut of information out there on the internet. If you've had an awakening, the minute you click on a video, you know if the person on that other side of the video has had one. Because there's only one truth. One truth. Oneness. Oneness. Unconditional love with God. That's it. Now, your journey, your purpose may be different. That's a given. That's something you signed up for with divine and agreed to before you even came into this reality. Okay? So what happens through this is that it's basically an integration of your mind, your body, your soul, through God, through your mind's eye, oneness, unconditional love. I have this, I don't know how to explain this, because every time I try to explain it to someone, the feeling, I cannot articulate the words to give it validity, to really fucking make you understand how good this feels. I can't. But to me, it is this delicious, hot cinnamon bun that you have just taken out of the oven, and you've gone, and you've stuck it right in the middle of my chest and my heart. And it is gooey, and it is soft, and it is so warm and so loving that you feel like you're breastfeeding on your mom's breast, and she's coddling you, and God is saying, everything's perfect. Now, if you can find a word that articulates that emotion, give it to me, because I'm in search for it. And I still can't find it. And this fucking laugh, I have no idea, none whatsoever, where it came from. I don't laugh like that. Sounds like I'm having a panic attack because I can't catch my breath. And it isn't that, it's that my mind's racing so fucking fast with the utter truth that divine wants me to speak that I can't fucking, I'm trying to assimilate it, articulate it, and send it out to you guys. I just can't wait to bring you all of the things that have happened to me and all of the videos and shit, because it's going to blow your mind, because it's blown mine. And I'm telling you what, it takes an awful lot to blow mine. So here's what happens. If you have a spiritual awakening, I've explained what it is. It's a shifting consciousness to oneness with God. And when I had mine, I was on the internet looking for, what is it? What the fuck are the symptoms? How long is this shit gonna last? And what are some modalities that I can use? Couldn't find much. Found some great information if you're already assimilating your awakening. But when you're having your awakening, you have to remember, I'm day 76 today. Symptoms: sudden, physical, mental, emotional. It fucking comes out of nowhere. It seems harsh. It seems alienating. I don't want to scare you, because God will never give you more. When I say it's fucking painful, I'm not talking about heart and soul painful. It's that too, but it is literally physical pain. Like, think about how much your body is made of. We are 99% water, and we are all fucking energy, and we are a goddamn speck. And cells regenerate themselves. We regenerate our brain. We heal our body. So imagine the kind of energy that you have as a human being. Half of us walk around asleep, and it's not my job to wake everybody, but fuck, that's another thing. So it comes out of nowhere. I felt at times that I would rather fucking die. And I even said, okay, God, I don't know what the fuck is happening to me, but you better just kill me and take my ass now, because if you don't, I'm going to. That's how it got for me. But I'm here to tell you there's a happy side to that, okay? And it's not very hard. I'm a stubborn woman. The longer you hang on to ego, vanity, and self-limiting belief that limited you from living in the consciousness in this world, God, the longer you hang on to it, the more you think it serves you, painfully, gut-wrenching, right? Gut-wrenching, because it is a complete disillusion of one's identity as a separate self. There's no trace of ego mind remaining, none. So the only fight that you're fighting is your self-limiting ego and vanity against divine. And divine is powerful. I'll tell you, you can ask anyone that knows me. And I'm not putting myself up against anybody. Not. I wouldn't even think of doing that against divine, because I would be no match. Nobody's no match. Okay? But I am one strong, stubborn bitch. And my ego and my vanity and my self-limiting belief took me to my knees, and I'm not ashamed to say this, took me curled up in a fetal position, crying so hard, begging for death or relief from God. And God's saying to me the whole time, you got a fucking string over there attached to anger and control and fear and abandonment and worthlessness. I'm going to drag it along, and it's going to be painful for you as long as you hold that cord. Cut that bitch. Okay? That's the hard part. That's where the inner work comes in. That's where the shadow work comes in. But they don't tell you that on the internet. They tell you when you're awakening what modalities you can do. But when you spinning out of control in the midst of it, that's why I'm doing this video. That's why I'm doing it. Because I want you to know what it is. I want you to know how long it lasts. I want you to know exactly what the fuck it's going to feel like. And I want to give you some modalities. And first and foremost, I want to tell you 3 things. You're not fucking crazy. People are not going to understand. They're not going to know what you're talking about. They're going to look at you like you've lost your mind. You may do the same thing I did and even take yourself to the hospital and tell the doctor, you need to run a brain scan on me, and my blood is cold, and I don't know what the fuck is happening, but I am vibrating on a level that should be killing me. They ran all my shit and told me I was perfect, and that I had a lot of fucking brainwave activity, and I'm one happy bitch. They said, go home. There's nothing wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? So you're not alone. You're not alone. That's the one thing I want to say. God, divine, source, the doorknob, whatever that is that you identify with, will not. And this is the God's truth. This is the God's truth. Will not awaken you any more or give you any more than you can handle. I call mine she because I'm a she, and my God is my higher self. God is not a man, not a woman. It's both sex. God's not an animal. It's an animal too. God's not anywhere. God's everywhere. You know? I have stories I could tell you about Satan, Lucifer. He's just a fallen angel from God. 98% of us people that are walking around in the universe that are going to church for religious purposes, which has its place, are probably fallen angels from divine. Anyway, this is a beautiful thing, a beautiful, beautiful. You're not alone. God will not give you more than you can handle. And you can always, always reach out to me. Put a comment below. I don't give a shit if you tell me you're losing your mind. I told some people some fucking crazy shit. And they look at me like, what the what the? Okay. So I will go back to, I told you what it is. I told you how it happens, how it's sudden, but it's how I rather die and how all that I told you, right? How does it happen? Huh? I just said God's not going to give you any more than you can handle, right? And that to me, when I'm doing my meditation and source and I are communicating, I'm being told there are different types of awakenings. That is why there is awakening. That is why there's an enlightenment. That's why there's a spiritual awakening. I'm not going to give a soul a spiritual awakening when I just want them to be enlightened. That's all they need is a little enlightenment. I'm not going to throw, being a spiritually enlightened pretty huge endeavor to take on. If you even talk with anyone that's had a spiritual enlightenment, the work that you put in, that you're going to share with others as a spiritual teacher and a Reiki practitioner and healer, is probably tenfold the amount of work that I was doing, and I welcome it. I welcome it. So maybe there's something else. Like I said, your journey is different. Everybody's journey is different. You sign up for something and you agree to it. Some souls are actually born here down in the 3D world. They actually agree to be reincarnated down here. Some come down here from other planets. Those are all videos I'm going to put up for you guys. So, how long does it last? Plant the seed, God makes it grow. Yes, happiness becomes contagious. People show. Yes, that's absolutely right. And here's the thing. If you experience an awakening, you won't want to walk around in misery. You will refuse to walk around in misery. You will work your shit yourself first and get yourself centered and be with oneness when you hit the floor, when your feet hit the floor in the morning. And there ain't a freaking thing that could come in your way that would cross your path that's going to cause you to leave your vortex. That's what I call it. It's my vortex. And I'm rocking. And I'm like doing, people are talking to me and I'm doing this shit. And they do you realize you're rocking? Yes, I know I'm rocking. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm getting ready to get ready. And they said, what are you getting ready for? I said, I don't know. But you know where it talks about in the Bible? Get ready. It's coming. You know where it says that in the Bible? Get ready. It's coming. God wasn't talking about the Messiah. God wasn't talking about the big flood. God wasn't talking about the big fire. God was talking about get ready. Your fucking awakening's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So I'm in the vortex and I'm getting ready to get ready. I don't know what she's bringing next, but I'm getting ready for whatever the hell it is. And I'm I'm on fire, baby. But you can't stop me. You cannot stop me. Okay. So, how long does the symptoms last? Well, I told you, awakening, it's all up to you how long the pain and discomfort lasts. But some people can be awakened in 7 days, they say. Divine tells me 7 days, 7 years, 17 years, 7 months. Do you guys know that Divine is Pisces? Jesus is Pisces. Do you know that? I'm a double Pisces. Double Pisces, Aries rising. With esoteric and psychic medium ability since I was fucking 7. 7! And my parents oppressed it. So do you think I didn't have some self-limiting belief? I used to tell my parents there was shit out there when I was 7 years old. And they tell me it was a damn nightmare. When we go to sleep at night, we're not sleeping. We're not sleeping. You are with your higher self and you are out in the cosmos somewhere. That's why you don't remember half of the dream. You can remember portions of it. And then you get little trickles of your life that feather in, but you can't ever put a name to it or a place. I'll tell you something else too. Y'all ever been in a place where you said, did that very same thing? I'll guarantee you have. I guarantee you have. You Taurus. I don't understand a lot of things that I do see, here's my thing. I'll tell you guys in a second, but let me finish this because I want to share these symptoms and stuff with you. So you can have 7 days. See, like right now, Whew. I gotta take a deep breath a second, because divine is filling me from my bahootie all the way up the center of me with what feels like someone has taken a torch and they're blowing dry ice up my ass. Right up to my head. That's what it feels like inside, and I want to start rocking, because she's happy that I'm stepping into my soul's purpose. But she's got to settle me down a little here, because I'm like, okay. So you can have it happen in 7 days, 7 years. My awakening is 76 days today. The longer that I held on to my ego, my fear, and my vanity, and the false lies or beliefs that I kept telling myself, the more painful it became. So I would say surrender to oneness with God, and it doesn't matter what it takes. It's going to take what it takes for you. And me, I think 76 days is a long time. And when I go to my Reiki circle, and when I go and do the horses, I'm a Reiki practitioner, and I do the dogs, and other people see my aura, and they say, "Girl, do you know the gifts?" I said, "No, I don't know them all yet, but I'm learning, I'm acclimating." I said, "I do know I have gifts." Yours is 7 years in September, see? 7 years. It took 7 days to create the 3D, did it not? Divine is the number 7. 7 days, 7 months, 7 years. And it's just like a manufactured recommendation on the bottle. It's could be 7 days, could be 7 years, could be 7 months. It's all going to be based on you. And I'm going to also do some videos on that, Jen, because I was not just an empath. I was a severe empath. I could walk into a room of probably 100 people, and every single soul in that room, I would go like a fucking sponge, and I would suck up all their energy. And I'm telling you, 97.9% of people are in this universe, in this 3D world, are sleepers. They're walking around sleeping. They're not awake. So negative energy wears on you. And so I think with this enlightenment, the spiritual awakening that I'm going through, I think I'm still an empath, but the severity of that is not as severe, yet she's given me telepathic, just freaking it's freaking a lot of people out, because I go to their place and then I leave shit there. I'm not leaving it there, doll. They're supposed to come with me. If they don't fucking come with me, they have free will. Maybe they got something to say. The Walking Dead, the zombie. So at the awakening, or the spiritual awakening, whatever it is you're experiencing, you have to surrender to the oneness of God, and letting go is what's best. And it's going to take whatever it takes. It's totally up to you. The answers I just want to say this to you guys. The answers that you're seeking while you're going through this awakening are all right here within you. You have them. You know them. You know, I remember reaching out to people and saying, what the fuck is, what am I doing? And they're all, you know the answers. And especially anyone that I've spoken with, that I've been doing some spiritual teaching with, that have experienced a spiritual awakening, they tell me. I'll give you an example like this. I know that they take Hindu monks, right? And when they want them to open up the mind's eye, the third eye, they will literally give them a blindfold and place them in a room, and they will meditate 7 days straight in the dark. And when they come out of the dark, their mind's eye is open. Okay? Now, I've read that on one hand. And I've also read on this hand where there have been monks that have done 31 years of meditation and still don't have their mind's eye. So when I tell you that this is a gift, and you should honor it as that. Something's bothering my mouth. Now is the time. Now is the time. The answers that you're seeking are within you. Look around you. Just saying. Not in your house. Go outside and look around. Think about 10 years ago, where we were technology, government, and across the gamut 10 years ago. And look where we are now. Okay? You know, there were people that had new age awakenings. Do you guys know Tyler Perry? He's a medium to the stars. Okay. I have been informed by divine that he is what they call a crystalline child. He's in his early ages, and he was born this way. And think about the children that are being born into this universe now, in the day and age that we were born in a different day, in a different age. And so different people are being born with different soul's purposes, and they're picking and they're choosing those soul's purposes. He's a young gentleman. If I had the knowledge and the utter truth and faith that I have right here, right now, the last 70 fucking 6 days when I was his age, holy shit. Holy shit. Just saying. So any one of us can receive an enlightenment, can receive a spiritual awakening, because you need to know what your soul's purpose is. Just ask yourself that question. What's my soul's purpose? What the hell am I here to do? It's the yin and the yang, yes, the black and the white. It's actually not the yin and the yang so much. You know what it is? The yin and the yang. It's called balance. That's the balance. But here's what people walk around and do. And it's not by any fault of their own, because I did it too prior to being spiritually awoken. We fragment things. That's how we learn. That's how we function, and that's how we shut our shit down. Just like that baby that's cord was cut and she's moved in a bassinet to another room, and the mom is in another room. She fragmented love to fear and to abandonment, not by her own default, because some nurse or doctor cut the cord and took her away from her mother. You know, if you could just here's a little test you can try. I've mentioned this in my lives before. If you get up in the morning, I'm sure you all do it. I'm sure every single person that walks the universe does it, unless you've had an awakening, then you do something different. You probably sleep on the same side of the bed, hit the alarm with the same hand, hit your snooze button the same amount of times every day. Get out of bed on the same side, put the same slippers on. Get up, go do your coffee or whatever it is that your morning consists of as a routine. You're on autopilot. You're not living in the conscious mind. You are living your subconscious mind on autopilot. So if you don't believe anything I'm saying to you, try this. Just do it for 2 days, 3 days, or maybe even try it for a week if you can. I think you're going to be able to do it for. Do one thing. The one thing has to really be meaningful. If it's putting those same beautiful slippers on that you think are so fucking fabulous and so comfortable, don't put them on. Walk barefoot. If it's that you have to hit your coffee before you go into the restroom, go into the restroom before you do your coffee and stand there and wait for your coffee. And tell me what the fuck your ego says to you. They're going to say, bro, what the fuck are you doing over here? You're supposed to be over there. And why is it you don't have your slippers on? Fuck. God doesn't want us to live on autopilot. God does not want anything but abundance, love, honesty, truth. Love. Fuck. Abundance. That's what I call it, abundance. You know when people say manifest, manifest, manifest? I'm going to tell you, people that are in meditation and they've not had a spiritual awakening and they're trying to manifest and attach an emotion to it, your shit ain't never fun. It's never coming. Never coming. I can think and 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 think that I can move this fucking cup from the counter. Where are you going in? I can go outside and in 3 minutes, where the Bible says when you say God says move mountains, move mountain, I can move fucking mountain. Not here, but with my mind's eye. I'm like looking at it, move mountain. And it is quantum. 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 Cosmo. Okay? So I want to give you also some modalities, if I can. Stay calm. Surrender. Treat yourself with love. Be doing some... I'll use me as an example because every time someone told me to stay calm and I'm right where I'm supposed to be and that you're going to be okay, I wanted to smack the shit out of them. I did. In fact, I wanted to fucking strangle them. I said, if you say that one more time to me, I'm going to smack the shit right out of you. Because do you remember spinning out of control like I am? And would you want someone? I just want you to fucking come over here and put your arms around me and hold me. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to say a goddamn word. So, modalities are going to help you. Do some mindful meditation. And when people on the videos say, do mindful meditation. Okay. Mindful meditation, like what? She's telling me to do some mindful meditation. What the fuck does that mean? Play something, watch, do something that resonates with you, that brings you solace. If it's listening to jazz, listen to jazz. If it's rock and roll and working in your garage under the hood of a car and you can zone out there, that's where you need to be doing that meditation. That's a modality that gives you solace, right? Everybody can't meditate the same way. The The one thing that is the key is to try to take, you're going to isolate your ass. You're going to isolate your ass like a hermit. You have this happen to you. You're going to go into hiding, and you're going to try to figure out if you're going fucking nuts and you need to admit yourself to an insane asylum, or if you're experiencing something. Okay? Trust me when I tell you, look at this vast universe out there. Do you think that in this universe that God would keep everyone's heart beating and their hormones functioning the way she does without missing a fucking beat, and to contend with all the other obstacles that she deals with? She doesn't make mistakes, you know? And she brought us here for a reason. And I'm going to do some videos because it's so true. It's to know the truth. So, do some mindful meditation. But if you can't do anything else, put yourself in a warm bath if that's your thing. You don't want to eat, don't fucking eat. You don't want to drink anything, don't drink it. You don't want to take a fucking shower, don't take a shower. If you want to sit there looking like shit, crying your eyes out, laying on the middle of your kitchen floor in a fetal position like I was, do it. Do it. Because the residual that I talk about that comes up is your ego and your vanity. And if you force yourself into doing something like I did, going to a grocery store, you will be standing in front of a checker sobbing, and you're not going to know why, and she's going to lose her shit and think she's done something to you. She didn't do a goddamn thing to you. So when I say, if you don't feel like doing anything but sitting where you are, and if it means sitting there for 24 hours or however minutes or however whatever, do it. Do it. You're not crazy. You're experiencing a very beautiful thing. And people are going to tell you, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. Fuck you. Fuck you. There ain't nothing calm about this. This side is very, 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 very beautiful. I'm telling you, and I still can't find the words to articulate them. But the discomfort that I'm telling you about is real. And the discomfort and the pain you're going to feel is going to be based on you, your self-limiting belief, your fears, your issues. Most people, abandonment, fear, worthiness, worthlessness, and just bullshit that's not true. Just bullshit. Okay, Jenna. Stay calm. Treat yourself with kindness. And some things just stay calm. Try to stay calm. If you think you're fucking crazy and you're like gonna have a panic attack, that's the only time I took myself to the doctor, and I said, that's when I told him, I said, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I spent 4 hours in the emergency room with a fucking bill, and he told me to go home. There's nothing wrong with you. He says, you've had a beautiful spiritual awakening. Go home and enjoy it. He knew exactly what the fuck I was saying. You know, it's hard. It's hard to forgive ourselves. It's hard to forgive ourselves. But think about this, if you will, for just a second. We forgive every single person that comes across our path that means something to us, don't we? If our spouse betrays us or lies to us, we forgive them. If our boss does something to us, we forgive him. If our child does something that he shouldn't be doing, we forgive him. Why is it that we cannot be the same to ourselves. Forgive yourself for not knowing why you're afraid. Forgive yourself for not knowing why you feel abandoned when no one in your life has ever abandoned you. It's all self-limiting belief that's been imprinted on your very soul without any recollection or blame to you. You are simply in this body. If I could tell you one thing, if you could be an avatar in a video game and you can have control of all the pieces, all the money, all the parts, would you play? Because you really are living in a 3D world that is, if you will, in a balloon, and it's a video game. And you, my friend, you're simply the vehicle that your avatar is in. So play the game. I've seen people on YouTube that kick ass on video games with that type of imagination. Are you kidding me? My son is a pro player for Dark Zero Exports in Texas. He's in Brazil right now. That kid's amazing. Could you imagine if he took that imagination and took it into the conscious world where he would be? You literally are in a video game. You have free will, God says. Do you want to play or do you not want to play? It's your will. It's your choice. Do you want to be awake or do you want to be asleep? It's your choice. Do you want to fall from God or be one with God? It's your will. God's going to say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Go whichever way you choose, my child. God's not going to judge, place anything on you. He's going to say, go. I love you, my child. Bless you. So when there are negative obstacles and other things that are coming into our life, those are simply speed bumps. That is the reason they're there, to let us know, hey, I don't fucking like that, and I don't want shit in my life. There's many, many, many lives. You have everlasting life. You have everlasting life. You never die. You just take on another vehicle. You just take on another vehicle. You know, I'm an old soul. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my story that's going to, just so you guys can understand the validity of what I've been going through, okay? And I don't really care two shits what anybody thinks about me telling this story, because it's my fucking truth, okay? I was married to a gentleman for almost 28 years. By no fault of Victor's, he was born into this universe for his own soul's purpose. I don't know what that soul's purpose is, and I don't give two shits what it is. He has to find out himself. I care that he finds his soul and he follows that path. That I care about. But he's sleeping. He's sound asleep. Okay? And now, when I tell you guys what brings on awakenings, maybe a death, maybe a tragedy, or maybe a sudden event in your life that makes you feel utter betrayal. Okay? So, when I tell you, I was struggling from June of 2018, I asked my spouse to move into the spare bedroom. He was not emotionally, physically, spiritually. It's like someone had sewn his lips, his eyes, and his ears completely fucking shut. For whatever purpose. Don't know, don't care. Okay? But I went into some serious meditation, asking for answers, wanting explanations. Why is he behaving this way? I need answers. And the whole time it was as if God had literally sewed his mouth, his eyes, and his fucking ears shut. He didn't hear me, he didn't speak, and he didn't see me. And when he did, it was brutal. Okay? And I spun out of control trying to find explanations for his behavior, and I couldn't find them, to the point where ultimate betrayal is what I felt. And during my meditation and my practices that I already had been practicing for years, he perpetuated the spiritual awakening by creating an ultimate betrayal that I felt in my life that devastated me to the fucking core. Okay? I ended a 28-year marriage, sold my house, moved out, changed my whole fucking life, stopped going to church, dropped my friends, less than 30. Who does that? I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're married for 28 years, people will go, oh, you were married 28 years. That's a long time. Yeah, it's a long time. But God tells you people are not meant to be in your life forever. And if they shut you down and they're not allowing you to be who you're supposed to be, and they are intervening with the purpose of divine, do you think she's not going to fucking intervene? Think again. Think again. She knew my purpose. She knew my worth. I just didn't know it any longer. I forgot it because I was so wrapped up in everyone else. When I went through this awakening, I even said to myself so many times, when did I fucking stop wanting to take baths? When did I stop wanting to walk on the beach, on the shore, barefoot, and wiggle my toes in the sand? Look at, there's that fucking breathing again. Can't tell you. I can't explain it to you. I can't. But I'm going to do my utmost to explain it to you. So when I say it's sudden, I went to my Reiki circle. For help. I was looking for some peace. I was looking for some healing, right? When I say this is an oxymoron, I was in so much pain when I went to the first session for my healing. And when I left that session, I was given another gift that I didn't know I had. I left there that's another video. I don't want to share that yet. But I'll tell you, what it took to me is I was in a chair like this, right? Sitting. And I was violently fucking shaking, right? To where the guru put his hands, my hands, on my chest like this. There was a guru down at my feet and one holding my chair because they literally thought I was going to come the fuck out of my chair. Right? And all of a sudden, the violent rocking just stopped. It was like, and I was in bliss, but I was bawling uncontrollable in front of everyone. And I didn't care. I couldn't have stopped it if I wanted to. I wouldn't have been able to. Nor did I want to, because that's the whole purpose, is to release and to let go, right? You know, we do tapping, we do other things too. So I'm going to be teaching you guys some videos on how to center yourself. I'm going to talk to you guys about some prana breathing. I'm going to talk to you about some tapping. I'm going to talk to you about some meditation modalities. And what are you here for? You're not just a husband. You're not just a wife. You're not just a mom. You're not just a dad. You're not just an employee or a boss or you're not just the neighbor. You're not just the babysitter. You're not just the son. You're not just the daughter. You're not all those labels that people put on you. You are so much more. And you are such a powerful human being. I mean, okay, there's no denying what's happening to me. None. Look at my face. I literally look 20 years younger. Literally. And you think about it, our body, our skin, our heart, our muscles, our tissue, everything are made up of cells. Cells that can regenerate themselves, that can heal, that can be restored, rejuvenated. And you have emotional centers that run through your body, 7 of them that most people know about, but there are far much more than that. And you can open those emotional centers back up because through our self-limiting belief that people put on us or that we put on ourselves can be released. And you can begin to awaken yourself to oneness, to the consciousness of God, to being with God and working and walking your soul purpose. Isn't that why you're here? Isn't that what you want to do? Do you just want to do an 8 to 5 job and say to yourself, I'm just on the hamster wheel, I work from paycheck to paycheck? Thank you, Sarah. There's no coincidences in life. There's no coincidences in life, okay? Part of people that tell you if they've had a spiritual awakening, any of them that I've spoken to, you can ask them. They have probably been in the esoteric world or another realm for some time. I have been, I wouldn't even say that I utilized psychic ability when I was younger because my parents suppressed it. But there were incidents where I told my mother that her mother passed away and she needed to go home because there was a note on the door. She was taking us to school. And it was true. There was an incident where I woke up, I don't know, 1, maybe 2 in the morning, went to her bed and woke her and said, you need to call ... because Dad's there. He slipped and broke his hip in a fucking truck because he was a truck driver and he's in the hospital. It's true. Now, I have got my beliefs about why it was oppressed. My mother, when I go back and I look at her ancestry and things that I remember her talking about and telling me about when people might think of it as wicked, but the problem was that she never practiced that in front of us girls, us kids. We did find Ouija boards and some other stuff, so I'm really not sure what her complete practice entailed, okay? But I know that I got my esoteric ability from probably part of her DNA that I have. You know, we have DNA, and if you tell people that there are chains that are not even activated on your DNA yet, they'll look at you like, no, there's only so many. I'm like, no, no. Because when you're awakened, you get a lot of activation. You get a lot of activation. I mean, I've had things happen to me that you wouldn't believe. I keep seeing, this is going to sound out there, and it's okay, because I know who she is now. But I probably shouldn't tell you that, but I'm going to do it anyway. Here's another test you can try before I tell you. See, my ears are ringing, so God's telling me to say it. It's kind of like slang. People say, how? They'll send me a message and they'll say, how do I see an aura? Go outside in the morning or at night and find something, tree that's living, that's a distance from you. And focus on the tree, but I don't want you to focus on the tree. I want you to focus just above the tree. And I want you to say to yourself a couple times, see with your mind's eye, the tree is not there. See with your mind's eye, the tree is not there. And if you practice it enough, what will happen is you will see a shadow around the tree that's identical to the tree. It's an aura. Okay? Depending on your gift and how much you've practiced it, because psychic ability, esoteric, seeing auras, hear me people, can be taught. So when they say, I was born a psychic, yes, I could have very well been born with the soul's purpose to be a psychic medium. No big deal. But you can teach how to do this. And then if you want to do it with a person, a little bit difficult, more harder because you're talking with the person. Focus, on their third eye, but kind of look above here, just where it's like here. And you will begin to, if you can, practice it enough, see their aura that comes right here. And what'll happen is if you get good enough at it, it'll come in so clear that it'll look like a video game to you. Because you, my friend, are the avatar. And your avatar is your higher self. And what you're seeing with this aura is your higher self. It is you. It is you. It is all you. Okay? So, I've been doing some lessons that my spiritual guru has given me to try to do some shadow work. Okay? So, I've been told to stand in front of a mirror with a white background behind me and with my lights dim to where there's just a little bit of light coming into the room. And then I am to look at myself in that area and focus, just like I just explained to you guys, okay? And the reason I was given this lesson is because during meditation, I had some music on and I was probably an hour and a half in. I was getting flashes of a woman that was laying like this. She was completely painted white. That looked like her face was painted white with Indian war paint. And she had these beautiful white feathers in her hair and a beautiful white dress. And she was like this, and she was fucking old. She was fucking old. And she was dead. And it would go. And the flash would not be, the first flash was like 2 to 3 seconds. I was like, is that my mother? Is that my dad's mother's mother? And the next one was long enough for me to recognize, oh, fuck, that's me. That's me. Okay? So now they've given me the work to do when I took this to the school, to the class, right? So I've been doing the work, and now I stand in front of my mirror. I don't have my hands like this, but I have my hands to my side, and I'm standing there, and I'm doing, just like they tell me. I'm in the bathroom with the very same image in the mirror with my eyes open. These eyes are open. I am seeing through this eye because I'm using these to look above. And my aura is like, oh God, it's like this from here. I can see it already. From here down, it's indigo. It's kind of like this color in my shirt, like an indigo blue right here. And then it goes up here, and then it's green, and it goes here, and it's yellow, and then it goes like this, and it shoots straight up into my fucking ceiling. White. Now my problem is this. I'm being too hard on myself. I lose the image, and that's what'll happen when you're outside looking at auras. You'll see the image, you'll see the aura, and then it'll disappear, and you'll go, oh fuck, where'd it go? Takes practice. So when I walk into the Reiki and there's a guru there that knows auras, that does Reiki practitioner on people based on auras and knows what the fuck's wrong with them before they even come to see him, says things to me that, because after the Reiki course, they're like, you're supposed to talk about your experience, and I thought the violentness was a beautiful dance. And the violentness was the leeching of the fucking residual coming that I was releasing. And I am now doing the dance. And they see me, and they're like, I said at the end, I said, I don't know what's happening to me. I'm healing dogs. He goes, oh no. He says, you more than a healer. So I don't know what he knows yet. He hasn't informed me. And that might be because it's not time. Because everything is going to be given to you in pieces. So another thing I want to say to you about it is that, don't be so hard on yourself. Ask yourself, I did not get this much discord and negativity and self-limiting belief in my life overnight. It's taken me X amount of years that I've been alive to end up feeling this way. So it's going to take me some time to tear that shit down. And that's literally what you will do. But I'm telling you, when ego and vanity falls to the wayside and you are given the oneness, the truth, the utter truth of just knowing utter loveness and faith, all that bullshit that you held on to, that you thought was so fucking important. I lived in a beautiful house that I loved, and I loved my kitchen, and I enjoyed doing my products and cooking and stuff. My house was not a home. My house was a structure. I was not living my soul's purpose in that house with that man. My soul's purpose was being snuffed out. And when that happens, you're literally dying, and you begin to feel and look and act and behave changed. Because that's exactly what's happening when you're dying. And you're dying of a slow death that you are willingly choosing. Now I understand that's a big statement. I understood when I said it to myself. You will go back and say to yourself, when I get up in the morning now, I don't base my life on subconscious autopilot. When I get up now, the very first thing that I do is I meditate. Because in the morning and at night, your subconscious mind, conscious mind are more aware. It's better. You've just woken up from a dreaming state. And when you're dreaming, you're not really sleeping. You're in your conscious mind. So I want to stay in my conscious mind as much as I can. I give myself 2 hours, usually in the morning, to get myself to where I want to be. At rocking, and then I set my intentions for the day. And whatever comes to me, comes to me. And whatever obstacles come in my way, that's simply what they are, is obstacles. I can look at them, I can pick and choose which ones I want and discern and throw away the shit that I don't want. And I can keep on trucking in my vortex. Right? And if I can help one person in their journey of being awakened, spiritually or otherwise, sign me up. Sign me up, because this is my mission. This is my mission. So the first I want to tell you again, spiritual awakening or an awakening, you're going to find all kinds of definitions out there. To me, it's a shift in consciousness with oneness, with God, divine, and source. And you, my friend, are simply the physical being that's going through it. You're the soul. You have a higher soul, a mind, a body. And your higher soul is connecting to consciousness. And when your higher soul connects to consciousness, you begin to feel emotions, and you live through those emotions, and those emotions now control you. That. So, it is sudden. It can come on rapidly. Those are some of the symptoms. It can last 7 days, 7 months, 7 years. It can be wrenching, painful, alienating, isolating. It can last as long as you refuse to release any residual ego, vanity, self-limiting belief, or lies that you keep telling yourself. If you release them, the quicker you will ascend into your new life with not so much pain. I don't think I've had any residual for about, I'm not going to say the days because, well, yeah, I can. 8 days. I haven't had any residual in 8 days. Not one negative thought that's driving my emotions to make me do something. I operate from an emotional level through the conscious mind of oneness, and I control my subconscious mind. Driving a fucking car. I am in the video game. I am the avatar, and now I am deliberately creating reality. That, my friends, that is a gift. That is a gift. You can have gurus teach you that. Some say it takes years, some say they never get it. So the reason a lot of people are walking around asleep is because being awoken, and most people don't want to do the work because they're too lazy. Including me. I was too lazy to do the work, too stubborn and set in my own ways. So grateful, because she's going to drag you anyway. She don't pick a person for a spiritual awakening for no reason. I don't know what your reason is. I know mine is Reiki practitioner, I work with horses. I work with horses and I work with dogs and I work with people, and I'm supposed to be doing some spiritual teaching. I do esoteric. I read tarot cards. I read China Berries, and she's like, man, I can't do this. I can't do it. Now, I do deviations now since I've had this awakening for myself right now. I'm not doing any readings for anybody. I'm not doing anything except teaching right now and focusing on how I can make the collective stronger and help increase the polarity of the universe by increasing the positivity of the souls who walk around the street. I mean, I would much rather love than hate, wouldn't you? And the very opposite of love is hate. So what are you afraid of? That's what I asked you. So the symptoms, like I said, I've told you those, can be brought on by death, can be brought on by a tragedy, can an event in your life that causes you to emotionally feel utterly like I did. Betrayed, the utter betrayal, you know? So you have to know that nobody, and hear me when I say this to you guys, because this is going to be really hard to get. And you'll say, she said that. No one in your realm, in your life, anything, can make you feel or do anything that you do not allow them to do to you. So when I say, he did this to me, he didn't do shit to me. I allowed him to do something to me. That's the bottom line. You cannot take responsibility for yourself unless you are willing to understand what it is that you did. And if you stop blaming other people or other things or situations or circumstances for your outcomes and take responsibility for your part in it, it becomes a little bit easier to play. But I'm telling you, and I know it as I'm saying the words, that is one of the fucking hardest things to do. Because we loved that hamster wheel, did we not? Tell you what, I don't own a hamster wheel. I don't want to be on a hamster wheel. If I want to get in my car and go to the beach today, I'm going to get in my car and go to the beach today. If I want to eat a big old fat salad on the porch, I'm going to eat a big old fat salad on the porch. If I want to spend the day in my bed meditating all goddamn day, then I'm going to do it. But God says it's time for me to get up off my ass and start teaching. So I've already been out 2 hours already. I went and did Ruby, the horse, and I did Maggie. And I did Chance, and I did Lucky and Tink, and then I came back and did Rusty. So I've already done 6 pets and 2 horses this morning, and it's not even noon yet. Can I get an amen? Kind of dog is what? Is what? My dog is a Lhasa and I always mess up the name. And my roommate's dog is a mutt. I'm not sure what he is. So, do you guys have any questions? I know it's kind of all over the place, but I wanted to make sure you guys understand the validity of what's happening over here, and that, you know, as soon as I'm able to acclimate things for you, and I will give you guys all the information I get as I get it. I will be putting up videos every Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'm going to talk about the dark night of the soul, because the dark night of the soul is part of the journey. You will experience the dark night of the soul. German Shepherd. Woof, woof. I don't have a German Shepherd, but if you're looking at that picture, that's Johnny Depp. Oh, I don't have a German Shepherd here. Do you see a German? Is there pictures of a German Shepherd somewhere? This isn't my room. This is my roommate's ex-wife's craft room. And so I am, I have my computer sitting here, and he's been so gracious enough to let me use the table here to do the videos. So I'm extremely grateful to him and his wife both for their gracious and their generosity to me. You have a Jack Russell. You don't have too many. A couple of shots of vodka and Tabasco. Ugh. You're going to try and post it. I want to see that, Sarah. Did you dance? You have a pit bull. Pit bulls are amazing. Sarah smiles pig, a German Shepherd. Sure. Sarah has a beautiful baby. Sarah, I always see Sarah posting pictures of her baby. That's what you guys are talking about. So, no questions in the chat. How long have I been on here? You guys know how long I've been on? Oh, that ain't right. Oh, okay. I've been on here an hour and a half. Ooh, border collie. Angry. So, also, the last thing was the answers you're seeking are inside. Remember. And then do your modalities. If some of the modalities that you're doing are not working for you, I have other modalities that I can talk to you about. But I want you just to be kind with yourself, be patient. Patience is the key. Surrender, trust, and let go. Seek counsel if you need counsel. Talk to a friend. Share. Do simple, mundane shit. If you want to go outside and sit there and read a book, wash the car. Something simple. Something that don't require you to think very much, because when you're going through this and before you get some kind of balance within it, you won't be able to write your fucking name or wipe your ass. So when I tell you that, remember I told you that. You'll be like, why can't I remember that? I've been doing that all my goddamn life. Why can't? Well, you'll go to stand up to do something, and you'll forget what the fuck you were standing up for. Hello, hello, hello. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Now, I'm gonna put this on the record as a discretionary advisory. I am not unique. I am not special. I am nothing more than star. I am the person I am, and I am the person I've always been since I was brought into this 3D world. Anyone and everyone, it is their God-given birth right to experience oneness in consciousness with divine and with God or source, or however you identify that person to be. If you are given gifts such as healing and teaching, and there are a bunch of gifts, psychic, all kinds of things. If you are given a gift, honor it. Honor it, practice it, learn it, study it, and then teach it and share it, because that is why it's been given to you. It's not your gift. It's not, you're not God. You're not special. You might be a spiritual guru because you have practiced and honed in on your skill, your purpose, but it doesn't make you anything more than me, other than another soul within this collective universe that's adding positivity to the collective. And everybody's purpose is different. It doesn't mean that you're a god. It doesn't mean that you're healer. You're a fucking conduit. You're a conduit is what you are. And you, I hope, my desire and my prayer is if you've been given a gift, you don't abuse it, because the minute you abuse a gift given to you by divine, she don't take it. She'll take it. Perfect example is I've seen Reiki practitioners that try to use Reiki practitioners for something that they shouldn't be. And you see them a few years later and you ask them if they're still practitioners, and they say, no, I don't do it anymore. So, God is the one that put us here. God's the one that created this earth in 7 days. This goddamn video game, this plane, this 3D, this universe that we live in, we're simply the players. So we have one or two options. We can step up and play our own game and create our reality deliberately, the way we want it. Because Divine's saying, what do you want? What do you want? How much? She's waiting, begging. But if you go over here, she's going to say, I love you. That's my job. So during this spring equinox, she's waking up. So welcome to my awakening, cracked wide open. I'm cracked wide open at 76 days today. Dogs have an endocannabinoid system too. Yes, they do. Dogs are just like human beings. Actually, they actually mirror our very exact body. Because when I do the animals, especially the dogs and the cats, their pineal gland is activated and they release DMT and they see spirits before I fucking see spirits. And then shortly after they see them, I get them. So anytime you're with a pet and somebody walks in that is a spiritual teacher or has a Reiki practitioner or is a master practitioner, watch the dog. Watch the dog when that person touches the dog. There's some telltale signs that animals and people do that when they say, oh, I didn't do anything. Well, I can tell you what. And the beautiful thing about it is I don't lose any energy. I'm just a conduit. Comes up the front and down the back and back in the ground. It's like a hamster wheel, if you will, but a hamster wheel of energy, baby. I'd rather be on that hamster wheel than the hamster wheel of negativity, wouldn't you? And discord. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. I choose not to be there. I'm happy where I'm at, and I'll tell you, anyone that's had a spiritual awakening, they'll tell you they don't need much. I could live in a shack in a mountain, a one-room shack in a mountain with my dog, and serve God's will. As a spiritual teacher and Reiki practitioner, I love doing the horses. I grew up around horses all my life. Okay. Horses again. Absolutely adore it. So I'd love to come somewhere and do a dude ranch. Do a dude ranch. I'm thinking of something. I'm actually thinking of that. What are you going to post, Sarah? Sarah. How you doing, DJ Grower? Thanks for coming in, you guys. Ivan, Sarah, Main Green. Oh, it's cute. Shell. Oh, Shell. Hey, beautiful. Why does Shell not have an icon? Damn. I love Sarah. Hi, Raymond. If I missed you guys, I'm sorry, but I'm going to leave the video up. I'm not going to delete the video. It's going to be underneath Cracked Wide Open. Next Wednesday, I will do a video on the dark night of the soul. Because as someone that goes through an awakening, you will experience the dark night of the soul. But it's not as scary as it sounds. You're welcome. You're welcome. There's no reason to thank me. I'm just here to relay a message that I've been given by God. And I don't know about you guys, but think about some of the coincidences. If you look back on my channel, my growing from the Tibetan, Mandela, the world peace that I went to, the spiritual, the correlation of the time. Coincidences, baby. Ivan, you're welcome, and there's no reason to thank me. I'm simply uh, serving my purpose. And if I can help one person, one. I do remote Reiki. My gifts are so powerful that I can do remote Reiki. If you are needing some and you would like some, let me know and I will do some. I sent James some. He was in the hospital with a temperature, and he came into the Fellowship of the Dank last night and said, "Oh my God, I feel so much better in his home." And they had him on IV with a really high fever from his surgery, so I'm able to give you some really beautiful energy if you need it. Please do not hesitate to ask. This is what I'm here for. This is what I love you guys so, so much. I'm going to put this video under Cracked Wide Open, and next week at 10 o'clock, I'll put up a video. I probably will announce on someday if I'll do another live, because I get a lot of emails because some people don't want to leave comments in the comment section. Listen, the comment section is yours. Sound off below. If the other person doesn't like what you wrote in the comments, it's not you, it's them. You're just in their fucking way. Ignore it. Leave your comment, because the more that comment, the more information I can get to you. I can't give you something that I don't know what you want to do. So really, really great to see you guys. I appreciate you guys so, 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 so much. I love you, my great souls. Namaste.